So, you're trying to gain weight, but you're a skinny kid like this kid here. I'm no guru or scientist, but I can help you go from this to this if you put in the work, and here's how. Just under 3 years ago, I looked like this. I was 60 kilograms at 6'1", was underweight for my height. Now, 3 years later, I'm 85 kilograms and I'm the same height. Barely gained any fat, it was mostly muscle. Now, before we get into the video, I know I'm not the biggest guy that you've ever seen, and I'm no bodybuilder per se, but what I can say is that I've made a lot of progress when it comes to weight gain. And I am 100% sure I can help you when it comes to that because of the personal experience that I've gone through and that I've learned over the past 3 years. We're going to go through my 5 top ultimate tips which helped me gain weight. Let's go. For tip number 1, we have training plan. It's a known fact that muscles take 2 to 3 days to rest fully. However, on average, it takes around 1 to 2 days to rest, which therefore means that a training plan where you are training all muscle groups twice a week is the most efficient and rewarding training plan when you're trying to build muscle. Now, with that being said, there's only 3 workout schedules that I would recommend, which are your Arnold split, push-pull legs, and full body workout. The only reason I would only recommend these 3 is because they are the main 3 where you train all muscle groups twice a week or more. Tip number 2 is liquid calories and water. Every influencer and their mothers are talking about how liquid calories are really good for you when you're trying to bulk up or even lose weight. They can be very good to getting protein in, to getting calories in, because you don't even feel like you're having a meal. Usually I like to have one in the morning. Easy 20 grams of protein to get down. Water is very important when you're trying to bulk up because water is essentially what actually makes your muscles look bigger. Because of water retention, your muscles are made up of 79% water, so the more water you're having, the better. I recommend around 3 liters of water a day. Water retention is really important, and second, and probably the most important point, is the size of your stomach. The more water you have, the bigger your stomach gets, which means you can hold more food, which means you can bulk easier. Make sure you're still getting nutritious food in and not only getting calories and protein through protein shakes. This moves us swiftly onto tip number 3, which is dieting. When trying to bulk up the right way, you need to make sure your diet is nutritious and healthy, not just big. Because at the end of the day, if you can't have a diet that you can continue to have for the next few months, you will not be gaining weight because you're not going to be able to stay on that diet for very long. Now, when it comes to your macronutrients, you want to make sure you're maximizing your protein intake and your carb intake whilst minimizing your fat intake. This is only because when you're trying to bulk up, we want to make sure we're gaining mainly muscle and barely any fat. Tip number 4, which is meal timings. A lot of people try to get calories in big meals out the way, which is what I used to do. Back in the day when I started bulking up about 3 years ago, it was having a 1,500 calorie breakfast, but I could have done much better if I did what I know now, which is dividing your meals into 5 or 6 meals a day. This is only because it makes it a lot easier to get your meals down. It makes it a lot harder to get sick of your meals and sick of eating, a lot harder to feel like vomiting every 5 minutes. I like to do the 3-hour rule, which is having one smaller meal every 3 hours. Now, let's say I have my first meal of the day at 9 in the morning. That means I have my second meal at 12, third meal at 3, fourth meal at 6. You get the idea. Final tip, aka tip number 5, tracking progress. So tracking progress, make sure that you know you are doing better every week or every month. Let's say for training, for example, it's very important to note down the sets, reps, and how much weight you did for that certain exercise. Because imagine you did a push day on this Monday and you did 30 kilogram dumbbell press for 12 reps. Next Monday you come in and you do it for 15. This means that you've improved and there's progressive overload, which means you can then go up in weight or go up in sets and push yourself even further to gain more muscle. Now, this is important in weight as well. It's very important to weigh yourself every single morning after you pee, before you have any liquid or food, because that is the most accurate way to weigh yourself. And this makes it a lot easier to track progress on how much you weigh and how you're progressing over time. And that pretty much wraps up the video. If you've got any questions or if I've missed anything that you guys wanted me to put in this video, make sure to drop it down in the comments or DM me on Instagram. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe for more quality videos like this one.